Hey y'all, it's me, Ken, CEO of OffMarket. We are very passionate about building in the open. I am starting a series where I'm going to quite literally explain what happened over the last week and what we're intending to change and how we're going to grow. Crush some new milestones. I want to talk about how we're rethinking disposition. Our company doing some dating with some lenders. We learned from our customers that we want offers over buyer contacts. We also want to welcome a new teammate. That's pretty exciting. I want to talk about the power of partnership. And then the final thing I want to discuss is a new thing we're working on called Dispo AI. So this week, something that's really awesome is we increased our time on site for our average users in the United States, which is the only ones we care about, up to just over 5 minutes, which is a 7.26% increase over the last week. And then what percentage of our users are returning? That's now 37.4%. Previously, just a month ago, that was less than 11%. So we're excited that we're creating that stickiness and people keep coming back to OffMarket. They remember who we are and they keep coming back. Rethinking dispositions. So what are we in the end? OffMarket's job is to find you a buyer or to dispo your deal for a wholesaler and vice versa. We want to help buyers find the right deal. And as a buyer, you know me, if you've watched any of my stories or you're watching any of my content, I'm a buyer. I've been buying for 7 years. Our initial concept, our initial hypothesis was we were only going after just like a broader number of buyers, anyone who'd closed on a property physically close to your, subject address. And we didn't really care how many deals they had closed. So we said, okay, Dispo 2.0, let's try doing only folks that have closed 2, 3, 4, 5 deals. That was useful, but the volume of people was too low. And from the feedback that we got from a lot of our sellers was, hey, Ken, I get it. Those might be better buyers, but actually the newer buyers are hungrier, willing to pay higher deals and higher prices. So, and it also worked really poorly in rural areas. There's just not enough people buying 4, 5, 6 properties out in the middle of Virginia. So we're kind of blending the two strategies together. We call it Dispo 1.0, where we're like going after a larger volume of prospective newer buyers who have fewer transactions. And I will also call out, we don't even know if a hedge fund just only bought one property in that area. So on our list, they look like a small buyer, but they might have bought 700 properties nationwide. So there were some clear flaws in that process. So that's our concept around rethinking dispositions and how we're doing it better now. Next, so we've heard from several of our sellers, they want assistance with folks finding a lender for their specific deal. So this has always been a challenge, hey, you want to buy off-market deals, you can't use conventional loan, you got to close really fast. Which lender is a good fit for you? Well, coming to OffMarket very soon is the term get financing. And we've been dating some lenders. We had some really cool options from different lenders of how they want to pay us or like partner with us for this opportunity. This is a big deal for our revenue. This also opens up, more revenue for our company. It means more staff, more team, more development. We can like build and do cooler shit. So we love that. We know that in the future, probably 6 to 12 months away, we're going to have a lender marketplace. We're going to make it like a pay per lead or a pay per click situation for lenders. That's coming in the future, but we are core focused on dispositions. Dispositions is our job, and that's what we're going to focus on. So very soon, you're going to see get financing on the platform, and that'll probably be owned by one single lender. Next thing we learned this week was offers versus buyer contacts. So right now, if you come to the OffMarket platform today, June 6th, what it looks like is you can only press contact seller, and it's a really simple process. You as a buyer come in, you get a two-way share with that seller. Great, easy. The thing is, when a lot of our sellers have asked us, they're like, hey, Ken, my deal got 15 buyers. Cool. I have to call each one of them and say, hey, do you care? What do you want? It's a little bit arduous and maybe not the best use of time. What they really want are offers. Fair reasoning. So it's going to lead into a little bit about the Dispo AI tool we're building. But basically, we're going to deliver the ability for you as a buyer to submit an offer. Obviously, these are verbal. We're making it as easy as possible. So, you see a property for 150K. You're like, hey, I want it for 132. You submit that offer. It's up to the seller to decide if they want to respond or not. It's totally up to them, but it's interesting. Next, I want to be really proud that we brought on a new teammate. Her name is Hannah Chung. She's been awesome. She's going to help us create a whole bunch more content, so videos like this and other stuff you'll see across all my socials. Thank you, Hannah. Very excited to have you. She's been killing it. She's been on the job for 7 days, done amazing work. So very, very pleased. Partner power. So it is truly amazing what a startup can do whenever we get connected with the right people. We literally have a meeting with Carrot.com, and if you don't know them, one of the biggest plays in wholesalers creating like websites is through Carrot.com. It's amazing and super useful and very valuable. Long story short, we're learning very quickly about how we grow our businesses by plugging into other people, speaking to their communities. We know there's about 200,000 wholesalers nationwide. And we need to keep talking to more of those folks. And probably one of our very first core hires in the early team is going to be a head of partnerships and or sales, like helping us get that piece together. Now, last but not least, probably the coolest part to discuss. So what is Dispo AI? Let me just give you like the broad thesis we have and like my hypothesis of what we're trying to do. So I worked at Empora Title for a year. While I was at Empora, I learned all about how wholesalers don't actually close that many deals. Many of them do. They'll do, one of our best clients, talked to him earlier this week, Jason, shout out. He closed 36 deals a year, 3 deals a month, average assignment fee, 10, 20K. It's not bad. You're making $500,000 a year, my guy. It's great money. The thing is, that's not the number of deals he gets under contract. Most wholesalers only close about 40% of every contract that they get. So we're looking at that as, why is that happening? Is it buyers? Is it your deals are locked up bad? And if it is buyers, what if we found you a buyer at a lower price than what you have posted, but a price that you would still take? So I'm not going to get into too much more detail. I'm just going to kind of like leave that as a breadcrumb. Feel free to like hit me up or tag me in something and I'll be happy to reply. But basically, we want to help sellers by helping them dispo at the highest price and also successfully collecting multiple offers from buyers. Sellers need more offers so they can renegotiate with the ultimate seller and like get a deal done. Buyers might not bite at the first time they see your price in your deal. But if I'm a buyer and I see a great multifamily buyer, let's say a deal in Orlando, Florida, right? 400K quadplex. Today that's a really good deal. I don't know if it will be when you watch this video, but today that's a really good deal, but it's in really bad shape. But if I get a notification saying, oh, we dropped the price to 380, do you want it? Okay, they'll play ball. I might make an offer at 375. That is what the wholesaler needs. You never know how much that seller's margin is. We never know how much the wholesaler's like margin is on that deal. But the wholesaler needs a place to start with that buyer to qualify them and see if it's actually going to work. And so they're not wasting their time calling if you don't actually want to submit an offer. Have a great week. We're going to do these things every single week. This is episode 1 of Building in the Open. Appreciate your time. And remember, OffMarket dispo 7 days a week. So feel free to submit your deal to us anytime. We'll dispo for you. You get that 7-day free trial. Go blast that deal and let us find you some buyers. And thank you very much. I'm Ken Barton with OffMarket.